Welcome to Movie Night. Today I'll be explaining a 2019 Russian drama movie based on a true story named Soldier Boy. Have fun, take care, and don't forget to like and subscribe. In Russia, a family of 3 are by the river, enjoying their time. The youngest of them, Sergei Alyoshkov, tells his elder brother and mother about him being on top of a tree. His brother tells him it must be scary. Sergei tells his older brother it's not scary at all, when suddenly a German fighter jet fly overhead. The mother asks her kids to quickly hide, but the 6-year-old claims he is not scared and strikes the jet with a slingshot. Another jet is seen and he tries to hit it as well, but he missed, so he uses a bigger slingshot. To everyone's surprise, he manages to hit the jet in it, but when he looks around, his family is gone. Sergei wakes up frightened from the dream and calls for his mother. Just then someone knocks on his door. Assuming it is his mother, he runs towards it, but a neighbor woman comes in panicking. She thanks God for keeping him alive and informs him that his mother and brother are dead. The little boy cannot comprehend what she is saying and wants to stay in the house to wait for his mother and starts calling for her. The woman tells him that the Germans have attacked them and that he should run away. Just then some soldiers approach their house. The woman makes Sergei run out through the window but is shot dead before she can join him. The little 6-year-old is now on his own, with no family and friends. As Sergei runs away from the house, he sees his whole village burning behind him. He calls for his mother in vain and runs away from there. After running for a while he ends up in the middle of the woods. The little kid starts to call for his mother to come and get him because he is lost. That night he stays in the jungle. The following morning, we see him drink water from a river when the enemy soldiers approach his way. Sergei, knowing that they are dangerous, quickly hides inside a tree's roots. He kept an eye on them. All of a sudden he is startled when a snake comes nearby, but doesn't utter a word or run away. Sergei is more scared of the soldiers than of the snake. The soldiers eat by the river then leave, after which Sergei takes their leftover food. However, by the end of the day, the little boy is exhausted. He hasn't had a proper meal in 2 days and has been walking with no destination. He falls down as he limps but doesn't stop walking. While on his way, he sees wild berries and devours them, but just then an explosion occurs behind him, taking him by surprise. The boy gets dizzy and starts to hallucinate someone coming behind him. However, even in such conditions, he stands brave and tells the person he has a rifle and is not scared. He limps forward but falls unconscious. He dreams about his mother and brother. After some time, he gets waken up by a hedgehog. Sergei is now sleeping next to a tree. While he is asleep, 2 soldiers approach him. The Russian army base where Commander Kuznetsov waits for his patrol soldiers. They come in with a little kid who is injured and weak. When the soldiers claim they are on his side, the little boy opens up and asks if the hedgehog was the one who told him. The commander tells the little boy that it was indeed the hedgehog. Then the boy introduces himself. The soldiers laugh when the kid shakes hands with the commander. One of the soldiers asks the little boy about his family, so the kid tells them with tears in his eyes that Aunt Anastasia told him that his mother and brother are. But before he finished his sentence, the soldiers feel sorry for him and circle him around. They make him drink water and feed him. Even the commander takes care of the kid. A nurse named Katya addresses his gaze wounds, and is charmed by his personality. The kid asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Even the injured soldiers talk to the kid and feel lighter. The next day, the commander comes to see Sergei. The little boy is fascinated with the commander's badge and gun. The commander answers all the little boy's questions and lets him play with his honorary pistol after taking the bullets out. Sergei shows him the tank drawn on his stomach and boasts about being a soldier himself. The boy is healing very quickly. Katya asked the commander to let the boy stay with a battalion, telling him that she will take care of him. But he disagrees, claiming that it won't be safe for a boy to stay in the front line. He wants to send Sergei to an orphanage. Katya is sad afterwards. The soldiers spent all their free time with Sergei. He is visited by many throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their families from afar and let him play with their binoculars. One day, a soldier goes to the commander to ask him to let the boy stay with the battalion. The soldiers have grown a close connection with the kid and think of him as their own. His presence takes the weight of war off their chest. However, the commander is adamant about sending the boy to the orphanage for his own safety. The following day, the enemies attack with heavy tanks and many soldiers are hurt, but they manage to stop the enemy. The day after, a vehicle comes to fetch Sergei in order to take him to the orphanage. The boy doesn't know what's happening and is telling the commander about his binoculars. The commander is having a hard time breaking the news to the kid. Eventually he does and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy in turn hugs him, claiming that he is scared for the commander's safety. This motivated the commander to change his mind, and ask the boy if he wants to become his son, and rips the orphanage papers. That night, the soldiers started looking for clothes that might fit the little boy but couldn't find any, so the army's tailor took the task in his hands. Sergei is dreaming about his mother. The commander wakes Sergei up and gives him the clothes. He wears them and runs around looking like a real soldier. The others start calling him their little soldier boy, and saluting him as the kid runs around. The Germans launch an air attack on the battalion. The soldiers quickly take Sergei to a safe place and fight the others. The number of injured soldiers grows rapidly. Sergei wants to make himself useful, so he started filling a cup with water and take it to one soldier at a time. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his eyes. The little boy wants to help but started flipping the piece of paper left and right. Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to read, so started making up things as if they were written on the letter, claiming that the soldier's cow is safe back home when the soldier says he doesn't have a cow. The others tell him to go along with the story and laugh. Another soldier asks him to read his letter as well. Sergei saw a photo of the soldier's family and asked him if him to sing. Sergei started singing on how brave the soldiers are and they are clearly affected by his words. Sergei is now sleeping on Katya's lap. The commander arrives and the two seem to be attracted to each other, but did not confess their feelings. The commander was trying to build up the courage to confess his feelings to Katya, but then Sergei wakes up and hugs his father. The commander backed up and changed the subject. Later, Sergei tells the commander that he is of the orderly position in the battalion and starts introducing himself as one. However, the boy then sees the tailor's station is destroyed from the attack. The commander teaches him to take his hat off to pay respect to the dead soldier. The next day, Sergei insists that the commander should give him a mission. The commander sees a small bandage on Sergei's cheek. The commander asks him what is that, and Sergei tells him, I cut myself when I was shaving. The commander removes the bandage and there's no cut. Sergei got this idea when he saw his dad once with a cut as well and asked about it. The commander then gives him a task to distribute the letters among the soldiers. He completes his task efficiently and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The following day, Sergei goes a little far from the base with his binoculars. As he is playing with it, he sees someone's leg moving from inside a haystack. He takes a second look to confirm, then rushes back to the battalion and tells the soldiers about what he has found. The soldiers are skeptical, but he tells them, I'm not imagining. 3 men go with the boy to take a look. When they reach near the haystack, they are alerted to see 2 German spies hiding underneath. They fight for a while, but in the end the spies are arrested. And the kid is praised for his intelligence. That night, the commander shows Sergei the legal papers for his adoption. He is now officially the kid's father. Sergei knows that the commander's feelings for Katya as well as Katya's feeling for him. He tells him that once he saw her cry when you were wounded, so to repay his kindness he takes him to confess to her. But they see her talking to a different man and assume she is interested in someone else. Since she was holding flowers and the other man was flirting with her, the base is attacked by the Germans again. This time Sergei helps the soldiers with all he's capable of by supplying ammunition to the soldiers in the front line. A soldier that Sergei is familiar with commands him to go back to the shed because it is too dangerous outside. When he comes to the shed, he sees the commander and others panicking because the phone's connection with the colonel is lost. A soldier is sent to fix the broken wires. Sergei follows the soldier and sees he has been fatally wounded. He hides in a trench and asks the dying soldier how he can fix the wires. He puts his ear next to his mouth, then takes the wires and fixes them. The connection comes back and more troops are called. The 6-year-old saves everyone's life. Later, Sergei runs to Katya, lies, and tells her that his father is sick. He can't eat or drink. Katya rushes with Sergei towards the commander. When she gets there, she wakes him up and starts checking up on him, but he tells her he's fine. He tries to confess his love but didn't take notice that Katya ran away. The commander runs after her and finally manages to build enough courage to confesses his love for her and asks her to be Sergei's mother. Katya is over the moon, but before she can say anything, a soldier approaches them and gives the commander a letter saying they have been dispatched from the base. The following day, all the soldiers leave for their new base along with Sergei. However, on their way, they come across a minefield that blows off some of their vehicles. The commander is hurt while the group's orderly, who Sergei was close with, dies in the explosion. He cries and hugs the commander. They carry the injured ones with them and continue their journey to their new base. When they finally reach the other base, the commander meet with the general. The boy walks in, introduces himself and asks for a now mission. The commander tells him to count the number of soldiers who are in need of new clothes, and he does when he comes back. He gives the list to the general. The general is impressed by the kid's ambition and congratulates the commander for having such a smart kid. Then he asks the kid for something that he wants. So Sergei tells him to grant permission for the commander and Katya to get married. The general agrees. The following day, their division is awarded a guards banner. And so is the boy. He promises to serve his country when the general gives him his badge. One night, their base is attacked brutally and the commander ends up trapped. Sergei cries for his father and tries to save him. He calls the other soldiers who finally bring the commander out. The next day Sergei approaches an injured commander. His hands were hurt while trying to save the commander. The commander wakes up after hearing Sergei crying. He tells him don't cry. Men don't cry. Just like he told him the first time they met. The kid is now an inseparable part of the team. He doesn't have a family besides them and moves wherever they go in the war. He even took part in the Stalingrad battle and reached Poland with the soldiers. Later he graduated from the Suvorov Cadet School and dedicated his life fighting crime. This is the end of today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It will mean a lot. Thank you.